Hey YouTubers, good morning. This is Rob Muffet. Today we've got a simple chili recipe that tastes really good. It tastes like it's got meat in it, but it doesn't have any meat in it at all. And it's made from a food storage I have here on hand, either dried or canned material. The reason I came up with this recipe is, for one reason, you always want to eat the material you have in food storage. The second reason is I've been eating oatmeal for years, for about 20 years. I never get tired of it. And I was thinking what recipe I'd come up with besides the oatmeal that I would never get tired of for a long time. And I think I hit upon the chili. I think it's going to work out pretty good because it's really tasty, nutritious, and you can add it to beans or rice or have it on burritos. It's a very handy recipe that I don't think I get tired of in a long time and very nutritious for me. So let's get started. To make it, you take 1 cup of dried pinto beans and soak them for 24 hours. You want to change the water several times. And after they've soaked for 24 hours, put them in a small crock pot and then just cover them with just enough water to cook. And cook them for my case, it's like 3 hours for them to get tender. And once they're tender, I add the main ingredients. I start adding the textured protein sausage bits. I add 2 tablespoonfuls. You can buy this TVP in different configurations. I got it like the sausage bits, but there's other type of TVP available. It's on Amazon. I can give you a link down below in the video description. Now, that's going to give a real meaty hamburgery taste to the chili. Then I add 2 tablespoonfuls of dried parsley. I know the container doesn't say parsley, but that's what's in there. And then I add 1 tablespoon of dried chilies. These are not chilies, they're bell peppers and red and green peppers. Next, I'm going to add some apple cider vinegar, just 1 teaspoon. Then some seasoning. I add the Mrs. Dash. Then add some pepper, and then add some red pepper flakes. Then add some chili powder. And then I use the dried onions I get from the Church of Latter-day Saints. I get them in big cans. And I add 2 tablespoonfuls of the dried onions. You can add more if you like, and I think I will next time I make this. Next, I add garlic. You can add garlic powder, but I had some garlic that I had frozen in the freezer, so I added them. I know I said everything here was going to be in food storage, either dried or canned, but this is something I had on hand. You can add the powdered garlic. But what I do, it might be interesting, this garlic, I buy very large containers, like quart size containers of minced garlic, and I put it in the glass jars and freeze them. Then whenever I want garlic, I use it from the freezer. I'm going to save a lot of money that way. Next, I add the broth base. You don't have to add this, but I find it's a nice flavor. Orrington Farms makes different types of broth base. They have a vegetable base, a vegetarian base, and then they have different meat bases. So if you're vegetarian or vegan, they have a broth that's completely non-animal based. But I had some of this on hand. That's what I used. If you're in a low salt, no salt type of situation, this would raise your salt levels. Might raise your blood pressure too, so you want to be careful how much you use. But there's other things you can use. You could use the Worcestershire sauce if you want to give it a nice dark color, or the soy sauce, which would be salty too, but you want your chili to be a little darker looking, and these broth will give it a nice dark color, but also a nice flavor too. I like Orrington Farms. You want to check them out. They have no MSG in any of their broth bases, and they last for a long time in storage. Next is a really good important ingredient is the Butler soy curls. They need to change that name. That's not a very great name for something that tastes as nice as it does. It's like little soy meat, and it doesn't look that good, but when you soak it and heat it up and cook it in the chili, it looks very much like meat, and it has a nice, wonderful meat texture to it. Next thing you want to add is your can of diced tomatoes that have the celery and onions and peppers in it. Then that's about it. Add a little bit more water if necessary. I don't think you'll need any, though. You'll probably be to the top if you have a small crock pot like I do. And then cook it another hour and get all that flavor mixing up together. You're going to have a wonderful, meaty, flavorful chili that, frankly, I think I could eat for a long time. And I've been having it with noodles, little macaroni noodles, and it's delicious. Although also with rice. You can even remove some of the liquid and put it on burritos. This is a really good recipe, guys. I think it's something you can use with your food storage so you can keep your supplies fresh, and something you won't get tired of it real quick. Hope this is something you guys like. I put on new stuff every week. I've got a playlist of food recipes too. Also a playlist of other stuff on my channel. Thanks for watching, guys. I add new stuff every week. I hope you all come back and watch more.